Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show, and welcome to another episode of an Ink Review. How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Today we're looking at yellowish, greenish ink. This one is from the Birmingham Pen Company, Tiger's Eye. Kind of a murky, greenish yellow. Today's pen will be using the Serendipity with yellow broad nib. Here's a look at today's ink. It's looking really nice. It's definitely got Tiger's Eye flavor. Check out that shading. Really nice. Super nice. And here's our ink swatch. Water resistance test shows. Might not want to use this on the outside of an envelope for fear it may wash away. Here's our toilet paper chromatography. I see it's got like an orange bit in the middle. Oh, and you guys can't see it very good, but it's got like a pink, like a hint of pink going on. Hi, Amanda. How are you doing today? And then right along the edge, there's this like brown going on. Oh, you can kind of see the orange. It's coming out just a little bit funny on the colors, but it's definitely like a greenish, yellowish, orange, brown, green. So, let's do some paper review and see. Hi, Obs. How are you doing today? Well, first let's share this with our friends so that they can come and hang out with us too. At this time, I would encourage you to share this with your friends so that they can also come and hang out with us too. It is 67 degrees outside. It's perfect. I have to go outside today. Ugh. I hate going outside, but it is going to be a lovely day. I cannot wait to go outside. Every time I go past X, I always see naughty things. Wow, okay. We're not going to look at that right now. Live television audience don't deserve to see that. Go blind. Alright. Heard you had a video chat. I did have a video chat with Turner Curl today. We had a lovely video chat. I made him a little sign for his Erie. We had a lovely conversation up until I mentioned TRUMP, and then he got very sad. I don't think that we see eye to eye on politics, which is fine. We don't have to see eye to eye, but you're wrong. I'm just letting you know. My opinion. Alright, here we go. Eaton's Coruscable bound typewriter paper. Man, yeah, we're not gonna talk about TP. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Alright, Eaton's Coruscable typewriter paper, 20 pounds. Beautiful shading. No feathering, no bleeding. A little bit of ghosting. I did want to make a comment that this is it looks exactly like Tiger's Eye. If you don't know what Tiger's Eye is, Tiger's Eye is a gem, and it looks kind of like cat eye. There it is. That's what Tiger's Eye looks like. It's got like these stripes going in it, and it's a stone that was made millions of years ago And it's just beautiful to look at. They're not very expensive, but they're very beautiful. And this looks pretty much like it, if you ask me. Alright, this is Marumon Nemosity 80 GSM. Beautiful shading, a little bit of feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. We have a leather bead and stone shop in Springfield that has some beautiful, huge tigers. Nice. Oh, I forgot to put I. Anyway, this is Copperplate Graph Pad from JohnNeilBooks.com. Looks really nice. Hi, Will. How are you doing today? A little bit of ghosting. Barely any bleed through. Rhodia Dot Pad 80 GSM. Beautiful. A little bit of shading. It's got a little bit of wiggle. No bleeding, no ghosting, though. That's good. We're doing well. We're hanging in. HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. A little bit of shading. A little bit of wiggle. A little bit of ghosting. Micro bleeding right there. I don't know what that's from. Oxford single subject notebook paper. I'm going to move this over so I don't have to keep stretching my arm out like it's crazy. What is this? Oxford single subject notebook paper. I almost did a wrong letter. You can kind of see it's got like a sheen going on, which is kind of cool. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. CVS caliber filler paper. Been on a brown or F kick lately. Brown or F kick thereof. Oh, brown or thereof kick. Oh, I see. Nice. CVS caliber filler paper. Again, a little bit of sheen, a little bit of shading. No feathering, no bleeding. A little bit of ghosting. I don't know what I'm on. Like, I don't know what I'm on. Pelican Hub notepad. A little bit of shading, a little bit of wiggle. No bleeding, no ghosting. Most excellent. Kokuyo business paper. A little bit of shading. Looks really nice. No feathering, no bleeding. A little bit of ghosting. Excuse me. This is the Nanami 7Cs 68 GSM Tomoe River. Zoom in just a little bit. Really nice. A little bit of shading. No feathering, no bleeding. A little bit of ghosting. And this is the jot envelope from the Dollar Tree. It's got a little bit of shading, a little bit of feathering, and a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Perfect. Muji notebook paper. It's got a little bit of shading, a little bit of feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. So it is really shading, or is it the color itself? So shading happens when the ink pools, and when it dries down a darker color. Some inks, when they dry, they don't dry down. Some inks, when they pool at the bottom of a letter, they don't create a different color. So you see how this California Sands has a little bit of shading, and the one above it has like a gradient. Like some of them have a gradient and some don't. Let's see. Can I show you a good example? I have one that doesn't have any shading at all. See this here, Pride? It looks like it's got like a teeny, or this Shigur. That doesn't have any shading at all. Or barely even any shading. See this Muddy Crown? Barely even has any shading. So, it just really depends on how dark the color is. This one has a little bit of shading. And you see where it's like bowing out at the sides? We're going to call that feathering. These little bits that are coming out, I can't make those little bits with a pen. So when it absorbs into the paper and it spreads out into the individual fibers, we call that feathering. Let's see, can I show you really? Here is a very good example of feathering. It's feather like a chicken. Feather like a chicken. Bled to the page. So sometimes they do feather, but they don't bleed. Let's see. What about this one? This was a little feathering, and this has a lot of bleed, little micro bleeding throughout. So yeah, we don't like that. It's naughty. Other papers, however, this is Archer and Olive 160 GSM notebook paper. There's no feathering, there's no bulging, there's nothing. It's just beautiful all the way through. And the lighter parts, that's lift, and the darker parts, that's called shading. It's just like being outside. When you go under a tree, you see the shading on the ground. And there's no bleeding and no ghosting. No, you can't see what's happening on the other side of the page. This is probably the best notebook for doing things on. I think that Archer and Olive is going to take off like a bat out of hell because Tomoe River has been really naughty lately. Tomoe Gawa is rolling in his grave right now. He's going, "What the fuck, man? What are you doing? Stop creating bad paper." Tomoe Gawa is the name of the person who made the Tomoe River. Yes. Well, thick paper doesn't automatically equal good paper. This is 120 GSM notebook paper. This is Shoei notebook paper. Some papers are coated, and the only way to tell is by running your fingers over it. You can definitely feel that there's something different there. And did I show you the HP Premium? So this is Hewlett Packard Premium 32 pound. This is also 120 GSM notebook paper. But you can see the quality isn't quite there because the printer ink is fairly thin and you can get really good dimensions. But when you use fountain pen ink, it kind of soaks into the paper a little bit. So it kind of has to spread if there isn't any coating. So different papers make the paper do different things. And there's no bleeding, but a little bit of ghosting. You can see through it just a little bit, that's ghosting. It's being creepy. Yeah, when you see the letters through the page, it's kind of annoying. See, this is all ghosting. You can see through the page to the next page. Alright, this is Anecdote notebook paper. This is 100 GSM, and you can still see right through the page. Really nice shading, but then again, you see the little tiny feathers coming out. That's feathering. And then when you can see it through the page is ghosting, and this little bit here, that's bleed through, or micro bleed through, because it's not the whole word. But other inks, cough noodlers, cough. Other inks bleed right through the page, which is naughty. Beating with a stick. Clairefontaine, 90 GSM. Really nice amount of shading. It's got a little bit of wiggle. Little tiny bit of feathering just right there. And like I don't always point out every feather. And it's got a little bit of heavy ghosting. It's like trying to bleed through, but not quite. It's got a little bit of ghosting, which is great. Let's see. A little bit of micro bleeding, or maybe even transfer. Sometimes if you close a book too fast, it will transfer onto the second page. This one had a lot of ghosting. A lot of ghosting. Clairefontaine is great for writing on one side, but not the other. So, here we go. This Clairefontaine, 90 GSM. Clairefontaine is 90 GSM. At least this one says it's 90 GSM. So you have to read the book or ask the company, and then they'll tell you. Beautiful amount of shading, no feathering, no real bleed through, but a little bit of heavy ghosting. All right, Ayush. This is 100 GSM notebook paper. Beautiful shading, minimal amount of feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. The journal from the Dollar Tree. Really nice amount of shading. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This might be a little bit of ghosting. The glossy button paper is 36 pound, 135 GSM. Is beautiful. I found it on Amazon. Hey, that's cool. Glossy. It's a Unikit. Haven't found anything that prints as clean as that brand does. Nice. This is Wexford from Walgreens Pharmacy. Beautiful. This one barely even had any shading. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. It's perfect. Unless you turn it over the page, then you might get a little bit of ghosting. Also depends on your surface. If you're using it on a black or blue surface, you're not going to notice the ghosting. But if you just turn it over and it's got white behind it, you're going to notice ghosting. So, something to think about. Alright, this is Midori MD paper. This one has a little bit of sheen going on, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Daiso Premium Notebook Paper. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. 68 GSM Tomoe River. This one has a little bit of sheen. You can see, let me see if I can get a pointer close enough. You can see this, see the little halo around this letter, and in the middle is dark. That's what we call haloing. It's a halo of sheen. We got a little bit of sheen haloing, a little bit of shading. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Give out all the buttons at Disneyland Park. Yup. We used to go around Disneyland handing out buttons to people. I haven't. I haven't. Oh, I remember what happened. I was like, I don't have buttons on my bag anymore. I was like, oh, I remember. A little girl got scratched by one of the buttons, and the mom was hysterical. And I was like, it's okay, you know, they're just buttons. And so I took them off my bag because I didn't want anyone else to get hurt. Leuchtturm 1917 plain, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. One bit of micro bleeding. Okay, let's take a look at some comparison. I think this is going to be a yellow ink. I might delve into the green department. We're going to find out. But I learned my lesson the other day with this one. Oops, I need to tape this down so it doesn't give me a GDSOB moment. I hear an alarm going off. Great. All right, so here we have the Birmingham Pen Company Tiger's Eye next to Birmingham Pen Company Seized Gearbox. They're kind of in the department. This one's darker, of course. Hiradori's kind of close. Sunbeam's getting there. Glittering Gold is kind of close. This one is Diamond Golden Sands. I have a bottle of this and it doesn't look anything like this, and I don't know why. So currently I am boiling it down so it can actually look like how it's supposed to. Chartreuse. Ugh. See, this is shading. Look at that. Look at all that shading going on. Wow. And then other colors have no shading at all. Honey is a little darker. Queen and Castle is a little more greener. A little more greener. Heart of Gold is a little more browner. Tuslabu is a lot more browner. Can have some. Rotted Straw is a little bit more yellow. Rotted Cork is a little more brown, but kind of close. African Gold is kind of close. Speaking of Louise, Louise just got married. Cutest little video ever. Sparkling Champagne is a little bit more yellow. I don't think I have tried Sailor Maryland. Gold Antique was kind of close, except for it's a little more browner. And that's it. That's all for the yellows. Okay, I don't know why I keep thinking these colors are green. They're not green. Okay, I'm just gonna give a quick flip through. No, these are definitely not green. Okay. Gonna check the brown department too. Burley Wood's kind of close. That's pretty much it. Well, what did you guys think about today's ink? Are you guys thinking thoughts about getting this ink? Do you have this ink? Let me know what you think about this ink in the comment section below. That's all I've got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all, so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my members, Cynthia, Rahul, Wolf K. Witch, Arcboy, Vermilion T, Simply Obs, Lynette, and Bumblebee. If you'd like to become a member, you can do so for as low as 99 cents a month. Also, don't forget to check out the links in the description to my website. Join the calligraphy class. I just started doing a cursive writing course, so it should be up right now. Also, don't forget to check out the paper reviews page. Join the Discord. Share your pen, ink, paper, and calligraphy journey over there with us. And if you'd like to save 10% off on your next order to Pen Boutique or Atlas Stationers, I am an affiliate. When you use my link, you get a discount, and I get a small commission so that I can make better content for all of you. And I'm like this close, you guys, to being able to get a Kaweco Piston Sport. So, get out there and enjoy your life. Be with the people you love. Tell them you love them, and I love you to pieces. Have a great day. Okay, love you, bye.